Should the Monaco Grand Prix still be on the calendar? This is something we will all debate next week, no doubt.
Fuck me, this is boring. Should have brought my pillow.
Could this be the weekend that Ferrari breaks Mercedes' dominance? And we've got plenty of little regulation changes, specifically for the Monaco Grand Prix. We haven't got the two-stop mandatory, which produced a bizarre race last year. But Mick, you must be pretty optimistic about Ferrari's chances this weekend.
Yep, I certainly am, man. But if you are a fan of trains, get excited because you are going to see the most technologically advanced train you have ever seen on Sunday afternoon. But yes, I am extremely excited because, well, I do. This track is a Ferrari track. This track is made for that car. We'll get into it a little bit, but we're jumping into now the European swing of the championship. But you look at the circuits that are coming up. This could be now or never for Ferrari to get their win. First and maybe only win of the season.
Oh, and maybe only. So a bit of optimism in there, but then maybe a little bit of
cautious
reality.
Cautious optimism.
No, nice one. Well, it is good that we are heading to the European Grand Prix. It is, something I think for a lot of fans that have been long-time fans of Formula One get quite excited about.
Yeah.
But this weekend, before we get into the teams, there's quite a few tweaks that are coming in. We'll first start with the tyres. They're going with the softest compound, I believe, this weekend.
Yep, C3, C4, C5. I'll spit it out eventually.
And it doesn't look like weather's going to really play a part. It looks to be sort of sunny, cloudy, 25 degrees. So unfortunately, no sprinkle of rain to spice things up, which is kind of what we generally need.
I think it's going to be spicy anyway, man. I have a feeling. But I'll leave that to my predictions at the end.
A couple of specific technical details which will confuse everyone at some point, but it is more on the electrical side of things. They are tapering that back, I believe, from 350 to 250 kilowatts. It's mainly due to safety concerns and runoff areas on some of the straights. And they have also disabled the active aero modes, but not to be confused with overtake mode, which is still standard and will have designated areas on the track. Did that make sense? Was that easy to follow?
Yeah, pretty much. What I got out of it is a reducing top speed so people don't fly off and go over the barriers, let's say. No active aero, so it'll be max wing, max downforce, and they'll still have overtake mode, which won't do anything at all.
Pretty much. I think that pretty much sums it up pretty well.
Yeah.
And a quick one to just add another layer of complexity to it, the A-Duo regulations. Well, we've had the 5 rounds now, so we should be hearing from the FIA regarding what they're going to do regarding those rules and which teams or which engine manufacturers will potentially get those free engine upgrades. We all know at this point in time, it seems to be that Mercedes is the top dog. Honda needs a lot of help, and there's just a bit of a battle in between. Now, Mercedes, total dominance so far, won every race. We now know there is a proper battle between these two drivers. Kimi Antonelli is showing he is the real deal, and we're starting to see mind games begin. Kimi's made it out pretty clearly that he's very relaxed. He's only in his second year. He doesn't put those high expectations on himself to get the job done. And we know on the other side, George Russell, well, he's pretty much stated that this championship is Kimi's to lose. I still think it's too early. We're only into the 6th round of the season. A lot of races to go, a lot of points on the table. But this battle between them, particularly on the Saturday, which we all know is super important, is going to be massive.
Yeah, Saturday is where it's going to count. There is no pressure on Kimi. If he doesn't win, he goes, well, it's only my second season. I managed to stay close with George. I did what I was supposed to do. If I don't win, I don't win. There's more pressure on George to win than there is on Kimi. But I think George just needs to stay relaxed, man. Like, he's not doing anything wrong. He just, maybe Miami, where he was clearly outperformed by Kimi. But generally, George has been good. He's just had the bad luck on his side of the garage. in terms of reliability. So I don't think George needs to change his approach. Like, stay relaxed. He's got to be careful he doesn't sort of like go chasing, because that's when he's going to start making mistakes. I think just keep doing what you're doing. Eventually the momentum at some point will probably change to his favour, and then that's when he's got to be ready to capitalise. This weekend, do what you did last weekend. You did everything you were supposed to. Make sure you put the thing on pole. Track position is king. You do that. Provided your car stays healthy, you should be all right. Kimi, man. He's flying, dude.
Yeah.
He is flying.
I mean, this would be, what, if he gets the job done here this week, it'd be 5 in a row, wouldn't it?
5 in a row,
He's got 4 races in a row, so it's pretty amazing for someone so young. But a big test in Monaco, and we know that this is a track that will bite you hard if you just take a little bit too much.
Well,
So
that's the thing too, eh? Kimi's got to be careful he sort of doesn't overstep the mark this weekend. You're in the fastest car. That car is going to be fighting for the pole, no doubt. So, but don't take any unnecessary risk. Don't feel like you have to push.
now, you said Mercedes the fastest car. We know they are the fastest car, but there is a lot of optimism around Ferrari potentially getting the job done this week. Both drivers, Charles and Lewis, have won around here. Charles back in 2024, getting the monkey off his back in the home race. Mate, there's obviously a lot of pressure on Charles to bounce back. Lewis definitely had the upper hand in the last race weekend out in Canada. I don't think we're going to see Lewis ever in the simulator again. Let's see if it is the real deal, because he was pretty feisty last time out. Now, who do you think is going to get the upper hand this week?
It's going to be tough, man. I think it's going to be super close between both those guys. I actually think there's a lot of pressure on Ferrari this weekend, because this is a circuit that is tailor-made for them. There's no power deficit. That car has got a really strong chassis. It's got a really good aero package. The thing's good in and out of the corners. So this, if there's a weekend to break the dominance, this has to be it. Because like I mentioned, you look at the tracks we have coming up before the summer break. I think we go to Barcelona next, then we have Austria, then we have Silverstone and Spa, and then maybe your next only chance might be Hungary, where I think they will be pretty strong there. But those other tracks in between, they're not made for you. So this is the make or break race to potentially get your first win of the season. Like, qualifying this weekend is going to be probably one of the best that we've seen.
Well, generally Saturday at Monaco is always a cracker.
Yeah.
Always a cracker. Actually, before I forget, I believe they may have given Q3 an extra minute as well.
Yeah.
I did think I read somewhere regarding qualifying. So,
Yeah. Well, that plays into my next part. Like, Ferrari just have to make sure they nail qualifying, that those cars are on the track at the right time, because I have a feeling it's not going to be a straightforward session. I think there's going to be red flags throughout.
yeah.
So you need to make sure you get your laps in early, or track evolution as well. So pit wall strategy is going to be mega here as well, especially on Saturday.
Now, you're talking about pit wall strategy. And you know exactly where I'm going with this, man. You know exactly where I'm going with this. McLaren, Lando Norris, winner out here last year in 2025, got the job done. Surely they'll turn it around this week. They will be definitely in the shot for a podium.
Yep.
But how do you think this is going to play out? Lando's had, I would say, the upper hand the last couple of race weekends out over Oscar. This is Oscar's turn to hopefully turn up the heat. McLaren, like, it's hard to know where they're exactly at, because we didn't see the best of them last time out. We saw glimpses.
Yeah.
So maybe they are a bit of a dark horse this weekend, because there is a lot of focus naturally on Ferrari.
I agree. I think they are going to be a dark horse. It's their 1,000th Grand Prix start too this weekend.
Ooh,
So
throw down the statistics.
yeah. So hopefully we might see a special livery. Never know. But yeah, there's pressure on McLaren this weekend. Again, come Saturday, your pit wall decisions, you need to make sure you get both those boys out on the track at the right time and you capitalise, because I think they're quite similar to Ferrari. They've got a really good chassis and a really good aero package. They don't have the power deficit to Mercedes. Battle for pole this weekend is gonna be insane, man. And then the battle for the midfield and the battle to get into Q2 is going to be epic. Lando, to me, just there's something about it. Quiet. No one's talking about him. He's just under the radar. And since he came out on that first lap in Miami, he's been on fire, man, and he looks dialed in compared to Oscar. A big weekend for Oscar because I think he needs to just get one up on Lando to stop that momentum, because at the moment I really feel like Lando looks super, super strong, man. But it's like undercover strong.
All right, on to Red Bull. Yes, always rumours regarding Max Verstappen and where he is going to be. We don't even have to delve into that because that is an episode on itself. But Red Bull is a funny team to me. It's like they are the clear fourth best team, sort of in their own league. Definitely a lot of problems with the car that they need to develop through. We saw Max Verstappen last time out. He had a lot of problems with getting the temp and the tyres. Isaac Hadjar, no doubt, will be pretty rapid here as well. But could they surprise us this weekend? I just don't know where Red Bull stands.
Well, that's it, right? They're a funny team at the moment because you kind of don't understand where their strengths and their weaknesses are. Look, I think Max was flattered with that podium last time out because of what happened with McLaren. If McLaren win the race, Lewis probably wouldn't have even got on the podium, to be honest. This is a circuit where the driver actually can make a really big difference. And we've seen Max, he loves kissing the walls around here. So this is a circuit where he can really pull one out of the bag. And because of the rule tweaks and the way things are at the moment, I think that brings him a lot closer to those front three.
It's a good point.
So, no doubt in my mind, man, this is a circuit Max could throw the thing on pole.
Well, I think that's a really good point. Bringing up that point regarding this is one of those tracks where the driver input can make a big difference. And then when you look at the drivers like Charles Leclerc, Max Verstappen, those guys that can really ring the car one lap pace, it does definitely bring them in more. But you're right. What Red Bull car do we get this weekend? Yeah. Now, a smoky. This is potentially a bit of a smoky this week. Alpine, they're rolling on a bit of momentum. Franco Colapinto has been looking good. He's got 2 race weekends now in a row in the points. Qualifying pretty well as well. Pierre Gasly, probably a little bit disappointed with his form lately, but he can be pretty rapid around here. I've got Alpine as potentially a bit of a surprise packet this week.
Yeah.
It's not because of their Gucci naming rights signing for next year. I can tell you that. It's definitely nothing to do with that. But just got a bit of a feeling that they're ready to kick on the season.
Yeah, 100%. They've made moves off the track. Like I said, when they signed that Jason Somerville from the head of aerodynamics in the FIA, the upgrades they brought seem to have brought Colapinto back into the mix. He looks super comfortable. My only concern is with Gasly. He hasn't been comfortable, doesn't seem to have the confidence in the car that he had at the start of the season. And we know around here you need to have confidence. So, but I agree. I think they're on for a really strong weekend here. At the moment, you'd have to say they're best of the rest. In terms of development, in terms of competitiveness. Colapinto, man, he's just continued that momentum. Like I said, since they bolted those upgrades on, he's really come into his own and he looks super comfortable. He just needs to stay off the walls this weekend. That's all he needs to do. Gasly might struggle here a little bit because I don't think he's quite confident in that car at the moment.
Big one for Colapinto. If he can get 3 in a row, mate, in the points, mate, I think it just sets up his season. And we know how easy it could turn because we saw in Canada last time out. He almost threw that away.
Yeah.
When he did kiss the wall. So it's, just a matter of inches can make or break a season, and Monaco can definitely bite hard. Racing Bulls. Now, I think they'll be pretty competitive here. I think they'll do quite well. Lindblad driving with a lot of confidence. Canada was a great result for him. If you take away, obviously, stalling. Well, he didn't stall. He had the mechanical issue at the start. but he picked up the point in the sprint race, 2 Q3 appearances over the sprint and feature, so he'll be riding high. Liam Lawson's been doing well, but maybe still not quite hooking up Saturday as consistently as he needs to. But race pace wise has been good. He's definitely not going to be able to do or replicate what he
did last year.
What he did last year by just being the ultimate blocker to give his teammate a gap to pit. But I think they'll potential both cars in the 10 this weekend, I believe.
Can't disagree. My only thing is reliability. If they can be reliable, again, new cars, new packages, you can't afford to be missing a session this weekend. You've got 3 of them to get on top of things. Look, I think Liam's doing a mega job this year. And he proved that last time out in Canada, just the way he bounced back. Lindblad, man, I think Lindblad is sitting pretty, man. We're at a point in the season now where we're going to a whole bunch of circuits that he's been to before. He's raced up before. Yeah. So it's not like he has to learn the circuit. He just now focuses on performance, let's say. There's that part of having to learn the circuit is no longer there. So it's about minimising your mistakes and focusing on getting the best out of the car. And he's good, man. He's good. I like him, mate. I think he's got some real potential.
I think for a rookie coming to Monaco in your first Formula One Grand Prix, it's, just get through it.
Yeah.
We know he's raced here. He would have done F2 here last year, I believe. F2 was here. But it's just a matter of just getting that first one off your back. And, because, like I said, it can knock your confidence very quickly here. Now, speaking of a team that you could say has a driver lacking a lot of confidence, Haas. Not a great weekend out last time. Ollie did pick up a point, though. I think he did manage to scrape home that solitary point. Ocon is the one that all eyes are on when it comes to Haas.
And we're going to a circuit where Saturday is everything, and Saturday has not been everything for Esteban Ocon last year and this year. And I think that's going to continue. Look, I actually think they'll go all right here because they do have that Ferrari engine in the back. And I think that's going to play a massive role here this weekend, especially on corner exit, and then not having the big long straights. They're going to be a lot closer to Alpine this weekend with Racing Bulls in the mix. But I think Ollie's got Ocon covered. I think it's Saturday again is just going to hurt his weekend.
Big one for Esteban, needs to turn it around. And this is another team with, you could say, very similar circumstances between their drivers. That is Williams. Carlos Sainz has been picking up the scraps throughout the season. Albon has been lacking performance. A lot of bad luck last time out. Made acquaintance with a groundhog as well as getting absolutely torpedoed by Piastri. Yeah. But he is a driver that probably is lacking a bit of confidence, and he just needs to get it turned around compared to his teammate.
You need confidence around here. You need to get the thing kissing the walls, especially through that swimming pool section. You need to be on the edge here, and I don't know if he's got quite that confidence in the car, but look, Williams are on the improve. We've seen it. Steady progress. They've managed to trim some fat off the car. They're getting a handle on the suspension issues that they've had. So they're slowly creeping their way back towards that midfield battle. But I don't think the car's quite right for here. I don't think it's suited for Monaco. What do you say about Carlos, man? He's just going about his business, right? Like you said, picking up the scraps there or thereabouts. For me, the big point for that team is getting Alex comfortable so he can maybe make a dig at in qualifying.
I also believe, I think it might be this weekend that he ties Nigel Mansell. 94 starts for Williams, I think it is.
Yeah.
Which is bonkers to think that he's had as many races, because when I think back about the 90s, the iconic red number 5, and you think about Nigel Mansell being there for such a long time. Now, we do know, obviously, back then it was only around 16 races in a season. Now we're getting 22 up to 24, so it happens a lot quicker. But it still amazes me that Alex has been there. This is his 5th year.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, when you say Alex Albon, I feel like he hasn't been around very long. it's crazy to think that, nearly almost 100 Grand Prix, man, he's been here.
Yeah. Just for that one team. Williams, right?
Like, that's hectic.
Yeah. Goes so quick. Where does the time fly, mate? Where does the time fly? No
Especially
idea.
when it's 24 races a season.
Audi. What do we get from Audi this week? Reliability has been the crux for them this season, which is understandable. New team, new engine. They have been on the periphery around being able to get points.
On the cusp.
On the precipice. Just didn't realise you had such an extensive vocabulary, Mick. But they have been very close. They've been very close at multiple weekends and then quite often just on the outside, but then reliability has stung them.
Yeah.
What do you think of their chances this week? Do you think they can nab a few points? I mean, it's hard to believe they only have 2 points for this season so far from a constructor's point of view, all from Gabby.
It's hard, man. Like, they must be just frustrated, like you said, on the cusp. They just can't quite crack it. I don't know if they can, and I think if anyone's going to do it, especially around here, like I mentioned, confidence is everything, and right now I think Hülkenberg has more confidence in the car than Gabby. But look, Gabby seems to be able to pull out the one-lap stuff pretty well, but doing it when you're kissing the wall at over 190 kilometres an hour is completely different to doing it in Canada. So
Hulk's done a few laps around here, so there's really no excuses for Hulk.
Yeah, so I think if anyone's going to get the job done, I think it's going to be Hulk this weekend. Yeah, if they can just keep the thing on the track, they're in with a shout, especially this weekend, because like I said, man, the margins are going to be so small.
All right, to the perennial back marker race, and that is with Cadillac and Aston Martin. Cadillac currently above Aston Martin on the official constructors' standings, but both with the donuts. Now, a lot of rumours suggesting that Bottas may be under a little bit of pressure and could be... I mean, they're even talking about potential replacement coming this season with maybe Colton Herta, but it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. To me, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, I don't even think Colton Herta's got enough super license points anyway.
Points, yeah.
So you can forget that one. And why? Why would you?
Yeah.
Like,
it's a development season. It's simple as that.
At the moment, what you're doing is working. Like, that team is moving towards the midfield. Like, everything they're doing at the moment is working. Okay, Bottas has definitely struggled out of the two, and Perez has probably made him look pretty ordinary, really. Like, I think...
Which was a bit of a surprise, I think, to a lot of people.
Yeah, like, I thought Bottas was probably going to do better than Perez, given Perez had the year out, and Bottas was still in and around, the paddock, and doing, he would have been driving in the sim and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Mercedes duties.
They might. Perez, man. I
thought you were about to say they may scrape a top 10 here.
No, not a top 10, but that battle, like I said, the battle to get out of Q1.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's going to be mega.
It's an opportunity. It's an opportunity.
And I think, obviously, if you're going off form, you'd have to say if anyone's going to do it, it's probably going to be Perez, but you never know. Bottas might pull one out of the bag, but...
I think Perez has won here before. 2022, 23, around there. It's got some history.
So, they're doing all the right things, Cadillac, for sure.
Yeah. I just don't see those rumours to be true in the sense that they always knew this year was purely developmental. It doesn't really matter what happens between the two drivers. Naturally, if one driver sets a benchmark, they'll want their other driver to be close.
Yeah.
But it's more about getting feedback. If the driver is a few tenths off your lead driver, but he's giving great developmental feedback with his experience and whatnot, and then why would you want to upset a developing team in their first ever season by just, okay, we're going to get rid of the driver? Like, what sort of morale does that bring through? Loudon, to me, doesn't seem to be that type of team principal where he is impatient. The only way I think it could happen is if it was from the commercial side, through sponsors, that type of thing. Money. But I just don't see it happening.
No, I don't even think it's going to happen next year. I think get yourself to the end of next year, see where you are in the competitive landscape, because then you've had 2 years of development. We go into, you say, the last half of that development race. So you'll have a better idea, right? Maybe we can chuck a rookie in here because we're starting to be a bit more competitive, and maybe we do need someone with a little bit more pace.
Yeah.
To just take you to the next step. But right now, the first 2 years, you're building that foundation.
Well, their main competitors, Aston Martin, so that'll be the main battle. Alonso with the retirement last time out with seat issues. Stroll, well, you just never know what you're going to get with Sir Lance. But, I mean, the battle between the two, who do you think has got the upper hand if you're looking at that battle for the wooden spoon?
Mate, you know what? I think Aston are going to go... Well, I think Fernando Alonso is going to go good here. Again, there's no massive power differences.
Yeah.
I think their base package is pretty decent. They're going to be max downforce. So I think their base is good. And I would not be surprised to see Fernando Alonso get out of Q1.
Roll back the years.
Yeah. My only concern is it's quite bumpy here, so if he has a sore back, he needs to make sure that... What does he say? He had like an inflatable lumbar support or something, and it went flat.
Yeah.
And that's like... fucking annoying, wouldn't it? Like having
It would be. It definitely would be. And especially at Monaco. Well, there's the thing with Monaco. We know you need high downforce, you need good traction off the lower speed corners, and make sure that suspension works quite nicely over the bumps.
Yep.
So
you think out of all 4 of those drivers, Bottas, Perez, Alonso and Stroll, Alonso's going to make the difference just on his own. Like we saw what he did in a sprint qualifying. Man, he could probably get as high as 11th. I don't think he's... I have to take something mega for him to get into the points, but it is Monaco and you never know. They're going to go good here this weekend, I reckon.
There you go. Well, that's the thing with Monaco. You can get a...
Yeah, there's no major differentiating factor. Like,
yeah.
You're not going to have
It's going to be very interesting because it is an outlier track, and it will be very interesting to see which team where you can see that, they're really more suited to the, the bigger bumps, the higher downforce. So there could be quite a bit of a movement, particularly with the mid-pack. We know how close it is. And we have seen a few teams be a little bit, you could say, circuit-specific. So this one will be one to definitely find out. But getting into the nuts and bolts, by the sounds of things, you're pretty optimistic with a few teams.
Yep.
Who do you think claims pole, and who's on the podium? Who have you got?
I'm going to say Charles gets the job done. Home Grand Prix, needs to bounce back after last time out. I think the Ferrari's going to be mega here. Leclerc for pole. Oh, this breaks my heart. But George second, Lewis third.
And Leclerc's going to get the pole. I mean, sorry, the win, because you said Leclerc for pole? Yeah. So the typical Monaco, get Saturday done, your high percentage of winning Sunday.
But it's going to be close, man, between those Ferrari boys this weekend. And I think George is just going to do George things, I reckon, too.
I'm going to go with Lando Norris with pole.
Yep.
And as far as race, I'm going to say Lando Norris, Charles Leclerc in second, and Oscar Piastri third.
It's not bad. Not bad. What about your hot tip?
The hot tip. Well, I think I gave it a bit earlier. I think Alpine is going to be the team that maybe surprise us a bit. I think Pierre Gasly will bounce back in form. Yep. I think he'll get the upper hand on Colapinto this week. I think he'll be a massive factor, qualifying pretty high, Q3 appearance, and potentially top 5 result. But the big interesting thing for me will be who underperforms. And again, I'm just looking at Esteban or Albon, unfortunately. I just think there's so much pressure on them that they're going to overdrive the car this week, and there's going to be some kissing of the wall.
I think there's going to be a lot of overdriving from a lot of drivers. These cars do not like bumps, especially under braking. My hot tip is there's going to be a red flag in one of the practice sessions, a red flag in qualifying, and a red flag in the race.
But I'm pretty sure you'll agree with me. One thing will be crystal clear. Come Monday, there will be a lot of debates whether the Monaco Grand Prix circuit is suitable for Formula One racing going forward. It's been the big talking point now for a damn long time. Last year, it was all the rage, particularly after the 2-stop mandatory. You could say it was a bit of a debacle, really. So luckily we don't get to see that, but we will get to see a train and everybody will complain that it was one of the most boring races this year. We've been entertained this year, so maybe this is the that dip before we get into the excitement of the European season. I hope I'm wrong, but we will know that Saturday will be a cracker. That's where it's at.
Saturday is going to be, this year, man, is going to be mega.
Well, I think that pretty much wraps it up. Looking forward to this weekend. Again, fingers crossed that Sunday isn't a bore fest. We might be surprised. Meg, I'll let you round up. Final word, take us home.
Have we outgrown the Monaco Grand Prix? Jared touched on it. The cars are still too big. Yes, we have outgrown it, but no, we should stay and continue the crown jewel of the Formula One season. Ferrari are going to get the job done and break Mercedes' dominance here this year, possibly get their only win of the season, but it is going to be mega, especially on Saturday. So until then, we will catch you in the next one.
Catch up.